I don't know about you, but one of the terms I hate the most in the firearm industry is the term ghost gun. And today with me in studio is Kevin Small, who is going to be helping us break down the term ghost gun and a term that's even worse called a ghost writer.
Well, yeah, other than the rap industry, in our situation, a ghostwriter can actually be pretty detrimental.
Very detrimental. We have a couple of such people that are not a member of either the Assembly or the Senate, but see themselves as resident experts in everything, and so they ghostwrite bills. And one such bill that we're going to look at today is Senate Bill 715, which is actually almost as poor redo as the second Matrix movie was, because Senate Bill 914 in 2020 was a total disaster, and so they just decided to redo it. And one of the points that I'll first make about ghost writers is they love to write pieces of legislation that nobody understands, so it either fails so they can keep bringing it up year after year after year and costing the opposition money to fight it, or because it actually gives them job security, because they couldn't do it right the first, second, third, or fourth time.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it creates so it's like an issue twofold, right? You end up getting a senator or an assembly person who is ultimately offering something that they don't understand, because not only did they not write the bill, they probably haven't even read the bill before, putting it in front of everybody else. But then on the other side, you have the actual writer who has zero accountability. So, we can always say that we're going to make people safer, but do we ever actually talk about how much safer we made people on the back end? The answer is no, and it's because the accountability is not there.
And this bill has several issues that, honestly, if I read them to you, it would blow your mind. I challenge you to go to the California Legislative website and look at the text language of Senate Bill 715. And here's the reason why. One of the provisions that they have in it is talking to game wardens. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. A game warden, their law enforcement job is making sure people have licenses to hunt and or to fish. In this case, this bill is trying to tell people that have been doing this 10, 20, 30 years as game wardens, specifically how they want them to verify that a hunting license is valid. Kevin, did I miss something? Were there like massive news reports that somehow our game wardens don't know what a valid hunting license is? Because I must have been asleep at the wheel. I have not seen one incident or report, and I happen to hang out a lot in the hunting community.
No, but they're going to make extra sure that they're clear here, right? So
wait, because the ghostwriter probably has A, never had a hunting license, B, never been in the field hunting, and C, definitely isn't a game warden and probably hasn't talked to one recently.
And then on the backhand, they'll tell you about how your 30-round magazine clip that can fire 80,000 shots in 1 second is going to be bad for you. I mean, this is no different here. You have somebody who's not invested in the culture trying to preach to people who are how they need to conduct business, when it ends up being something that's not even tangible.
And that's part of my point in this. We need to start going after, as the public, these ghost writers, because that's how you end up with people like, the President of the United States saying the way to defend yourself is walk out on your balcony, take a shotgun, and shoot 2 rounds in the air, which, that's at least 7 or 8 different violations that you're guilty of now because the president told you to do it.
Or better yet, just shoot them through the door. If you feel threatened by somebody knocking on your door, just shoot them through the door.
Because that doesn't break, always make sure what you're looking at before you pull.
Well, at the end of the day, it's something that the firearms community, who preaches nothing but safety, knows will never happen. But again, the appeal isn't necessarily to them. The appeal is to the people who don't own firearms and don't necessarily know. And unfortunately, it can be effective.
And this is the point I want to make about ghostwriters. Kevin, you said that so clearly. This is designed to go to people that are uneducated or just haven't kept up with what firearms are and are not, how they're used, the safety, everything that's been done, because ghostwriters are putting their words into these different politicians' mouths who also are uneducated, don't know what these firearms do or don't do. And so that's where this convolution starts to take place that is costing us all our rights and a lot of money.
So, I mean, what does the effort end up being doubled down for us? And I know that we talk about this a lot, guys, but it's the most important thing that we can do. We need to spread the word, and we need to continue and practice safety. And we need to make sure that those in our community know that that's what we do. Safety is always at the front.
And I think something important is, a couple weeks ago, you and I were together with a former ambassador to Germany, Rick Grinnell, and one of the things that he said so eloquently was that, as they try to cancel the culture of gun ownership, we have to say, no, you're not going to cancel me because I cancel you first. And that's what we have to start doing with ghostwriters and everybody else saying, no, we're not going to allow this anymore. We're going to cancel you by saying you can't do this. And that's where we need you to start becoming more and more vocal, by going to your local legislators and saying, you write the bill. Don't have some 20-something-year-old that doesn't know what they're doing write it. Go out and research it, do your job.
And every grain of sand can make a heap. So, the firearms community tends to believe that what we're protecting is the freedom of the individual. And here it is, guys. We need to act on an individual basis, and each one of us as individuals who end up taking this stand and talking to our politicians and voting with this stuff at the front of our mind is going to create a heap. And that heap, even in California, is not really something that can be toppled by anything else as long as we all work cohesively together.
And Kevin, something that you and I get a lot when we're out talking to people in the field is they want a soundbite. And I've thought about that a lot. Here's a soundbite for you. If you look at the great civilizations of the world, about every 250 to 300 years, they end. They just end. If we don't want that to happen to us because we're closing on our 250th anniversary, now's the time to start fighting back, because there are people working to end our country's history of freedom of choice, freedom to have a firearm to protect your family, freedom to have a firearm to put food on the plate, all of that. They are going all in, and you have to go all in. It may not be, as Kevin has said in a couple speeches, our D-Day, that we're going to run up the beaches of Normandy. It may not be something like that, but it is us showing up at the ballot box and us fighting back and us telling the media we're going to ignore them because we're no longer going to allow them to dictate what kind of life we'll have. We will dictate what kind of life we want.
Yeah, and I guess you could say that this is our guard gate, or I guess for the sake of being more modern, this is our firewall. The Second Amendment is our firewall, so naturally it's going to be the first thing that they attack. And the things that matter really most to us is what the Second Amendment protects. So we need to ensure that it stays in place and can continue to ward off these efforts.
We need you. We need you now more than ever to join us at CRPA.org and to donate to us at CRPA.org.
Yeah, guys, and if you like this content, please be sure and leave us a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and share as well. Getting this information out is the best thing that you can do, and it's the best way that you can participate in these movements.
And as always, keep your family safe, be safe, shoot straight, and fight back for your rights, and we'll see you next week.